Good morning, everyone. This is Gina from Western Way of Life. I hope everyone's having a wonderful weekend and a Sunday morning. I just wanted to show you a quick tour of how the garden is looking. This is an abandoned garden. It's been abandoned for 4 years. Weeds have grown up in here wildly, and I decided this year, a little over a month or so ago, that I was going to grow a vegetable garden. This is my first time that I've really grown vegetables. I've never grown tomatoes, and many of the things that are growing right now I have never grown. I usually grow flowers, and I have a beautiful above ground box container of peonies that I have that are just starting to bloom, and I will share those with you. I am in south central Oklahoma. Actually more south, but I'm right down the middle. In grow zone 7B. I'm right on the line of 7B and 8A, but I affiliate with 7B. So none of this was here except for the frame and my crates. And the crates, actually, I had to move and do work with those two. It was really a mess. And so I just thought I'd take you for a quick tour of how everything is looking. I laid down 15 bags of mulch yesterday, which was clearly not even close enough. But it did give me a view of some of the walkways and some of the areas that will be being used. I'm going to start off here with my tomato trellis. Well, actually, right along the fence here, I put in some blueberry bushes and blackberry bushes. I have some echinacea growing in this bare spot. I lost my butterfly bush. It was 5 years old, and the drought was so bad last year, it died. We do show horses during the summer, and that's why I had quit gardening and growing a flower garden. We're gone a lot during the summer, and it got so hot and dry last year, and the years before, it just like an inferno. I came home and everything was dead, and you can't grow anything healthy and nutritious properly without constant water here. So anyway, back to the tour. I've got this tomato trellis. Never grown tomatoes before, but I have really watched y'all on YouTube and got inspiration and really tried to do this properly. I've got them spaced quite a ways apart. Marigolds are in the middle. I have some chamomile and a rosemary plant also down here with them. So really looking good. I've just got different varieties of tomatoes in here. This one here is Celebrity. Most of these I seeded myself. The ones with the big tags are ones that I might have picked up at Tractor Supply, Atwood, something like that. But all these were seeded myself. That one wasn't. That's a black cherry. Early Girl. And then just miscellaneous, a black vine with the black tomatoes, and so forth. And so it's 6 foot tall, and then the frame here will actually let these indeterminate tomatoes grow farther up. And then I will attach a string to the highest point and let them continue to grow up that way this summer. I will be putting mini tomatoes in these large pots here. These are 10-gallon pots, a little bit bigger than a 5-gallon pot. And some more mulch that I laid yesterday. It looks so good. And these are the crates that I grow in. These crates I have collected over the years getting flower bulbs. And they really grew beautiful flowers for me in the past. And these vegetables, wow. They really, really did well. I've just got a mixture of stuff, arugula, some garlic, spinach, broccoli, some annual flowers are mixed in now, kale, cabbage, chard, carrots, beets, Some celery is growing, some of the Japanese celery, the purple celery, which is just a beautiful plant. I still have many tomato plants to put in. Onions in these crates, strawberries. And I'm trying to find the big celery. Here's the celery. It's starting to come around, and it will be purple, the stalks. And this really germinated quite well. This celery I got from Baker's, and it is, I'll just put the tag up. And that's the brand, or the variety. And I have many of those that I have planted. My above ground containers have my peppers, mostly jalapeno, fire away. I have some annual flowers in here also. I have cilantro. I have 2 patio tomatoes. These are from Proven Winners, and they are the Good Hearted. I grew one of these last year in my above ground boxes in the front. And to my astonishment, it did okay, even in the drought. So I'll see how they do. Above ground containers really dry out quickly in the summer, so I will really have to stay on that. But I am putting in an irrigation system. There's just no way for me to grow anything here without these being on a water timer. So I will be putting up a video of the irrigation, and I have a really good idea of how I'm going to do that. I just put in some cucumbers. And my barn is quite large, and it's on the west. So it blocked, many of these were blocked from those extreme high winds we had day before yesterday. We had gusts up to 60 miles an hour. And this area really took a beating because it's open here. So I do have my shade cloth laying right there where the dog just walked over. And that does help block some of that stressful wind coming from those areas during the summer. In-ground bed that I put in, I had to cut the landscape fabric away. This whole area, it is covered in landscape fabric, along with the other garden bed in the back there. So along the way, I have had to cut out 2 layers of landscape fabric. And then it's a no-till bed. I've laid down big feed bags, paper feed bags, covered with compost and then covered with garden soil. And I just have some early things growing in here, but I can go ahead and put things out now because my last frost date is April 15th, and the weather shows absolutely no cold weather coming at night. So I'm good to go, and I'm going to. So I've got some more radishes, celery, beets, rutabaga root that's coming up, echinacea, some annual flowers, and also some sunflowers that I put some seeds down. So I will be getting on this bed in the next few days. We are expected some very warm weather tomorrow and Tuesday. Tomorrow is supposed to be 90 degrees. And then Tuesday, 83. So I will not be putting anything out. It'll just be too stressful on these plants. So as this garden, the cleanup was happening, and a lot of my tomatoes were growing. I still have 20 tomato plants to put out. I decided to, this area was just covered in weeds, a tarp that I have folded up here, and a big green horse tank or plastic tank that I grew stuff in years ago. So I had to have help removing that. So that's gone, and a tomato bed is in with a trellis. So I have some tomatoes that I seeded. All of these I seeded here with some marigolds, some rosemary. And I just cut this bed out yesterday, got the T-posts in. And so that will cover 6 more tomato plants, but nearly not enough room. So that's why I will be growing in the container. And a quick overview of the in-ground bed here. I've got straw laid down along the fence for weed barrier. And a few things that I have put in. some okra, bell peppers, and some annual flowers. The bell peppers are really coming along great. I've got some mushrooms growing here. So the soil is doing its thing. The bell peppers have doubled in size, but the okra really is lagging behind, so I believe it's just not hot enough. I might have to reseed the okra. Excuse me. And then sunflowers in the back, just tiny right now. It just hasn't been warm enough, but tomorrow I bet this it will really kick everything up. So I also will be putting shade cloth again on the fence. And in the past, I had it up for the wind, and it also acts as a little bit of a shade barrier. And I've got some onions growing down in these areas. You can really see them coming up there, and then really growing nice here. And the dogs think that they see something. Maybe just the horses. But anyway, that's really a quick tour of the garden. It's really coming around. It's starting to have a little bit of structure, which is exciting. And I will keep everybody updated on how everything is growing, but it's really starting to look like a garden. Hope everyone's having a wonderful day. Until next time, bye-bye. So I thought I would add in my above ground box containers. This is in the front, north facing. And I'm just gonna quickly show you what I have growing in here. These are peony plants. And if you move in closer, you will be able to see some blooms. This is a pink Hawaiian coral peony. I have 2 of them bloomed on this plant. I have many varieties in here. I have an early blooming, a mid-season blooming, and a mid-late season blooming plant. I don't go into the late blooming plants, the peony plants, because it just gets too hot. Now tomorrow with the 90-degree weather, these plants will really struggle. But this is just an overview. They're just starting to bloom. So I will be out here daily enjoying these absolutely gorgeous, majestic, fragrant flowers. That one's just going to be so large. And these are pink Hawaiian corals. They're an early blooming variety, and that is why I've got blooms. On April 1st is when it bloomed. Here's a whole bunch that are fixing to pop open. They're just little, look like little bubblegum balls. How cute. But anyway, I just wanted to show you that real quick. And when this garden gets bloomed, I will definitely be sharing it with you.